One of the more funny plays to happen in recent memory was this one, involving the Philadelphia Eagles and the let's just call them Washington. But I actually think this is one of the most commonly misreported stories in recent NFL history, and that's kind of why I wanted to make a video to talk about it here as we're getting to the end of the offseason. First, I want to tell the story that you've probably heard before, and maybe this is just the version of the story that you believe. There's 6 seconds left in the half. The Washington team is getting ready to spike the ball, and then they're going to kick a field goal as time expires to go up 9 points at the half. But Cousins has a brain fart here. When he takes a snap, he hits the wrong button, accidentally knees it instead of spikes it, and then that's it. The clock keeps running, and then the half is over. Okay, I'm sure you've heard that version of the story before, and while there's no denying all those events did happen, there's actually a lot more to it than just that. For one thing, actually one of those events didn't happen. One of those facts is incorrect. They were not running up to make sure that they can spike the ball to make sure they had time to kick a field goal. They had a stopped clock. I mean, look, there's 24 seconds left in the play clock. They were coming off of a stopped clock. With 6 seconds left, they were simply just trying to see if they could, throw one pass towards the end zone. They figured that was enough time, we can make something happen. Here is where the issues actually started to arise. That is the call Jay Gruden had on this one. Wants to go for goal line fade, which to me makes sense, right? I mean, that's a play that won't last too long. If it's incomplete, you'll still have time for a field goal, but you could get a touchdown right here. Sure, seems logical. The issue is that the locker room had turned on Jay Gruden at this point. Pierre Garçon did not want to run. I guess he just hated fade routes, so he didn't want to run this route. For whatever reason, he hated fade routes and refused to do this play. He just outright refused and made it clear to everyone in the huddle he was not going to be doing anything on this play. And the other receivers don't have routes going toward the end zone. So for Cousins, what do you do in this situation? I mean, to me, it's kind of obvious. Really, what you should do is, if he doesn't run the route, you just sort of throw it there anyway. You won't be under pressure since you're getting rid of the ball in half a second. It's now not going to be intentional grounding, but it's also not spiking the ball, so you're not getting a 10-second runoff, and you still get 3 points. However, I say that where I have, thought about this, I've had time to think and digest it. Cousins, in the heat of the moment, sees this incredible situation that is a disaster. It's worth mentioning, if he spikes the ball, because that's something people always say, why didn't he just spike the ball? You can't spike the ball coming off of a stopped clock. That's a penalty and would result in a 10-second runoff. The half would be over. They don't have any timeouts, so that would just be it. They need to run a play right here. So Cousins, in just the heat of the moment, just knees it, not sure what to do, and then realizes that was a bad idea. He goes to give it to the ref. I don't know what really happened. I mean, he still had a brain fart, right? He still did something that he shouldn't have done. My favorite part of this is that once he realizes what happens, he tries to run for a second, but then the Eagles tackle him well after the play was clearly dead. I mean, it was not a great call by Cousins, but it wasn't just as simple as he need it instead of spiking it. There was actually a lot more to it than that. And weird stuff going on with that Washington team. Do you want to see me rank every single Stanley Kubrick movie into tiers? Or how about Wes Anderson? I have a tier list video of his as well on my movie channel. The link for that is in the description below. I also have some movie reviews on there, some sort of different kind of film study type videos, such as comparing the difference between Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back's endings and why the first one doesn't work and the second one does. If that seems like your kind of thing, check it out. Again, link is in the description below. You can also just search Jackson Kruger movies if it seems like your kind of thing.